Okay, hey guys, we're back with the letter. When we last left off, I had to re-record the audio, so that's a first. And I'm actually kind of excited for this upcoming one because something might actually happen. We're gonna make jokes about Isabella's stomach. I could barely stomach reading what's coming next. You see? Begins normally enough.
Isabella, I don't have time for this! Open up!
Or as normal as shouting outside your room could get this early in the evening. On a Monday, no less. This isn't how I wanted to start my week, but here I am, trying not to make a fool of myself in front of anyone who happens to pass by. Oh, we have to... Open pages! Like that. I'm not even sure if our landlady's home yet. I'm sure, and I sure hope not. She won't like this ruckus. But it's not like we haven't had an argument before. We have, plenty of times. There's not one time with the girl, she's in another that has something to do with the mess in her room. Sometimes it has to do with my eating habits, or her eating habits. It's also the one in the movie house a few days ago. That got resolved pretty uneventfully. Yeah, uneventfully, just almost a car crash. So I think to believe. You know, it's is that the suspension bridge effect? No, that's... You know, kind of. They both got put in a perilous situation, and they're like, oh yeah, we're friends. She seemed to be in a good mood when she asked us all about that, all out for that little celebratory treat. Anyway, the point is, we didn't go through 5 years with being friends without having a little argument here and there. Granted, they can get pretty petty at times, but none of them has pushed either of us to end this friendship. Yet. Although most of them does end with her sulking in her room until I pull her out of it. Child through and through. This morning, however...
You're still not going to believe me, even if someone else already died, no?
There really comes to a point where you need to smack some sense into people. It's murder. The authorities said so. Yet, she's still going on about that the Halloween prank like it's that bloody letter's fault.
It's a piece of paper, Isabella! What can a piece of paper do? Give you a paper cut?
There's a joke to be made, but I can't think of it. And she saw the ghost. She's just not going to...
I swear, you can be so frustrating at times!
I know Rose is a close friend of her, but she's doing her dad a huge disservice by being like this. Taking out my mobile, I dial her number, and sure enough, her own rings from the other side of the door. Don't hang up in case something possesses her to answer. She's just sleeping. But I've been going at this for 15 minutes now. She didn't hear me after that. She sure as heck is ignoring me. On purpose.
Isabella, I know you're in there. Can you please stop this nonsense?
She is in there.
You're acting worse than my students when they're throwing a tantrum.
Well, most of us
You're not a kid anymore.
A minute. And another. Then I'm ending the call while fishing out a copy of her key from my bag and unlocking the door. She lent it years ago after complaining about the mess and offering my help in cleaning up. The other gesture is completely unnecessary then. After all, I could always knock. But she never did bother taking them from me. Always returning it or turning away from the conversation whenever I insist. At one point, I simply stopped trying to hand it back to her. Good thing I did. Now her stubbornness is coming in handy. For once, she did something right. Miracles are miracles, isn't it?
Isabella, I'm coming in and we are going to talk!
Well, I don't think she's gonna talk. Without waiting for her answer, I push the door open and march inside. Her lights are off. Although the telly... She just said telly is running. Telly! I think it's leaving a dim glow. Dimmer than it used to be, in fact. Mainly due to its age. She bought that set from a second-hand store nearby. It's been with her since she started living here, though she doesn't really watch anything of it. Even on weekends, she doesn't seem to have any use for it. It's just for background noise, so the place wouldn't be as quiet if she's working at home. She told me before how much she misses the clamor of the city. Here in Salem, though, it's just quiet everywhere. That silence bothered her more than anything new and unfamiliar she encountered in her first year here. The rent isn't cheap. She probably would have moved away already. It's an odd side of her, but are worse ones.
Like when she's moping.
Find her sitting at her work desk. Hand over a mess of papers. The mic. Literally the top. Nose almost touching the paper she's working on. Actually, the nose is touching them. On one hand, I can make out the silhouette of an empty noodle cups, though I fight the unexpected urge to wrinkle my nose at the sight. Yeah, I was thinking, So, someone's gonna end up being evil. That's kind of a certain, right? The rights have been kind of foreshadowed. I don't think it's gonna be Luke. If it's gonna be one of them, it's gonna be Hannah. Like, definitely. I can't see Luke being a bad guy at this point. I actually think that's probably gonna be revealed near the end of Ashton's route. Because he's like, detective. And Luke will be, or maybe Luke's a bad guy from a certain perspective, but... And the professor is so sketchy. Okay, let's keep going with this. Her cleaning habits are also the least of my concerns right now. You're apprehend her later for it. But, like, where do they fit into this? Like, the ghost. Maybe the ghost is trying to warn them that this guy's gonna kill them. But, I mean, we saw a CG of the ghost hugging That was the ghost hugging Isabella before she was going to die. It's like, giving her comforts. It all makes sense. But first we're talking putting an end to these silly misconceptions she's been feeding me.
We need to talk about this letter nonsense.
She doesn't answer. She doesn't move. She's giving me the silent treatment because I won't buy her little horror story. Just the thought of it irks me and prods at my already short temper. With each second that passes, the girl's even
Isabella, I know you're busy. I'll let you go back to your work once we sort this out. You can't keep going on like this.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to go on without a stomach. Still no response, and slowly, frustration begins to seep into my tone.
Why must you always be so difficult?
Then, anger.
I'm telling you to listen to me. Oh, will you face me? I'm talking to you, Isabella.
No warning, given her an ample number of those, marching across the room. Each of my stride brisk and heavy with purpose, when... It's not stepping on the apparent wet mess that forces my whole body to freeze. Rather, it's the sudden smell of her meeting the air? Her mating? Pretty sharp, thick enough that I can almost taste it. My hand hastily goes to cover my nose, but even then, that acrid smell still reeks. Like the smell of iron reacting to the skin when rubbed. Like blood. My gaze shifts to Isabella's back. Head still bent over her table, unmoving. In this light, can't get a good look at her, but I know for sure she won't simply leave a puddle here. Not when she's working on papers she could accidentally spill on. Puddle of what, though? Didn't want to make any hasty judgments yet, despite what my mind screams at me. Could be anything. Could be... There could be a leak here, somewhere, or whatever. But despite what I tell myself, fear easily warms its way to my... Yeah, there's a leak! In her stomach, eh? It easily warms its way to my voice when I call out to her again.
Isabella?
Something heavy lodges itself into my throat.
Belle?
The sound of my heartbeat thrashing against my ears.
Belle? Answer me! Please!
With a trembling hand, I reach for her shoulder, and gently as I can, I turn her around. Yeah, that's pretty fatal. My heart stops. A chill runs down my spine. Oh, I like how it's leaked just now. Like, oh, maybe that's because she moved her. Every edge, every corner of the room suddenly goes sharp. I can't breathe. Did it take all of her teeth out? Before I know it, my horrified scream ripples through the air. Into the meat grinder. I think she's dead. Angry and fuming about her friend's behavior lately, Rebecca decided it's time to have a long talk. Upon entering Isabella's apartment, though, something seemed very, very wrong. Where are we on the tree? Okay, we're... I don't really know what this one means. Like, I don't know the difference. One of them's probably Isabella's alive. A few hours afterwards, the whole place dissolves into chaos. Nameless people in white suits moving in and out the room. Fellow lieutenants crowding the nearby hallway to get a glimpse of whatever's inside. Paramedics and police officers trying to corral a growing group downstairs. At some point, nosy journalists have started flocking in, likely for a scoop. Because it is a scoop, no matter how much I want all of them to stay away. To not look at her.
Not like this. That isn't how you should see her.
It's a commotion. But amidst the ambulance's bright flashing lights, the murmurs of the curious bystanders, barely any of it registers. Heck, I can hardly remember anything when my landlady pulls me out of the room. I don't feel her hand against my shoulders as she ushers me out. I don't hear her mutter reassurances. Is it a gentle touch of comfort? How does her voice sound? They all come out of the empty, each and one of them falling hollow on my deafened ears. Because she's gone. She's gone. Yet, I can't even bring myself to shed a single tear. Much as I will myself, no matter how much I repeat the words in my head, none of it will come out.
What's wrong with me?
We're friends, aren't we? Should be crying. If not, I should be angry at whoever did this to her. Anything. Anything better than this cold, empty feeling at the bottom of my stomach. Anything better than standing around like a useless numpty that I am, watching all these people sit by and examine her like she's just some other victim.
Female, around 20 to 25 years old.
I mean, she has her ID on her. You can just look at that. Distant.
Time of death must be less than 5 or 6 hours ago.
Impersonal.
Cause, still unknown.
Everything about her now broken down to useless statistics. She has a name, dang it. She has friends here. She has a family waiting for her back home. Someone please.
Crime scene?
Second floor, sir. Just upstairs. Second room after the stairs.
Ashton?
Hold on a sec. Did you say second room after the...
Exactly what I said, sir. CSM should be there to brief you further on the scene. But, if I may, Inspector, you really don't want to see the body right now. Inspector Abigail had to excuse herself for a while after, you know.
I'll be the judge of that. Thanks.
His voice shifting from stairs below falls like a splash of cold water on me. Somehow, at the familiar tone of it, the world has suddenly tilted sideways as righted itself. Every color, every sound rushes back in. My head immediately snaps up in search of him. Another officer stops him upon reaching the floor, but a quick show of his badge is enough for them to allow him in. He doesn't waste any time. Ash quickly makes a beeline for the room and passes by where I'm standing without so much as a glance. He doesn't seem to have noticed me. His steps are even. Sure as he walks by, his jaw clenched in a tight line. Fleet departure from the easygoing air he gives off when he's with us. Like this, it's hard to think of that Ashton, and the one in front of me as the same person. But a worried crease on his forehead, a stiffness on the lines of his shoulders. And I know the moment that expression is on him, that this news should not just come from some crime scene manager. I should say something. I need to say something. Call out to him. Stop him. Because more than anyone, he shouldn't be the one taking on this case. Maybe someone who will understand how I feel about this. You know the kind of person Isabella was. But will he be able to go about this with the same passive indifference his associates have? Of course, I never doubt his capability. That's a given. He's already proven that more than once. But this may not be easy for him. What should I do? Should I even put it? Stop Ash. Should I just tell him myself? He doesn't need to see this. Did it go down? Should I... Like, what's the difference between stop him and try to tell him? My arms move before I can think twice on it, closing a hand around his elbow and clutching onto it tightly like a lifeline. Naturally, it startles him, but his confusion quickly melts away to something softer when he recognizes me. Still, he assumes a reprehending tone. Something I'm not sure if this is a good idea anymore.
Becca, I've got to...
Don't go in there!
Easier said than done. It's all on his face when he averts his gaze and promptly untangles my fingers from his arm.
I have to. I'm on duty, Becca.
I'm aware of that. Please, just this time, don't go in there.
You know I can't do that.
There are other officers here who can handle this. Why can't you sit this out for once? You don't have to go in there. They don't know her. It'll be better if they...
The tight set in his jaw is back when he gently pushes me away, his hand gripping both my shoulders firmly, more strained than he ever did before. Makes me doubt if he, himself, believes what he says.
That's precisely why I have to be the one on this.
I want to see what the other option is. I'll have to skip a little bit. Wait, can I just go to the next choice? Is that enough? No. Yeah, stomach jokes, you know. And let's make a save here. Try to tell myself. It's the one who found her, the one who saw her first. Telling the rest of our group should always be my responsibility. Lessen the blow for them as much as I can. Wondering what that does. It's even. Interesting. Otherwise, it's simply heard from the news, delivered in the same uncaring manner, as if she had never been a huge part of her lives these past few years. I'd like to save them, save him from that pain.
Ashton, wait.
Ashton stops dead in his tracks, turns, his worried expressions dissolving in confusion.
Rebecca? I thought they... Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. But Ashton, in that room.
The words refuse to form. My mouth opens and closes, yet even my earlier resolve and a will to force them out, they still don't. All of them still lost in the haze of gory images and the acrid tang of blood. Shouldn't have assumed this would be easier. Shame fills me, especially with that tiny glimmer of hope he carries in his gaze, the searching look on him, as if he's expecting to hear some good news from me. Desperate prayer for his assumptions to be wrong. Pains me I couldn't bring him that. I can only
I'm
look
sorry.
away.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I prefer this one. His expression doesn't fade away like I'm surmised, however. There's an effort in him to keep the atmosphere light despite the shadow of death surrounding us. I'm allowed to redo my choices if it's telltale dialogue. Slowly, he reaches up to me and gives my shoulder a squeeze. Light as it can be, tiny effort to raise my spirits and perhaps even his own.
Don't. This is no one's fault. Just stay here. Let me look at the situation. It couldn't have been her. Autopsy might reveal something different. Who knows?
No. Why isn't there just a tell him Isabella's dead?
Ash, I was in there. I saw her with my own eyes, and I'm sure it's...
Becca, like I said, I'll look at the situation. Stay here. I'll be back.
His tone leaves no room for argument. I see the moment he tucks it all away. His apprehension, growing anxiety in his stomach. Even the part of himself he showed us so openly before. The friendly, easygoing Ash? He has it all. Builds an even thicker wall around it. He crosses the police tape without looking back and walks into the room an entirely different person. From my place in the doorway, I witness all of it. I never flinches nor gags at the smell of blood. How he studies and takes everything in with a straight face. How his voice drifts from the inside of the room every time he asks a question, the tone even uncollected. How he tricks the victims, Isabella's lifeless body, without batting an eye, going about his work as if nothing ever happened at all. As if this isn't someone he knew personally.
Doesn't this faze you at all?
Before long, Ashton goes back out the hallway, still with the same impassive look on him. He waves someone over. Another officer? Forensic? Paramedic? Everyone isn't that. Everything has become a daze for me. The next thing I know, someone's draping a blanket over my shoulders.
Make sure she's okay and calm enough before they start taking her statement.
I don't protest when the medic starts leading me downstairs. She's speaking in hushed tones about an ambulance, though I don't understand much of it. But there's a thump. Muffled, though. Enough for me to miss it have I not looked back, but the sight that greets me upon doing so is what leaves a mark in my memory before descending the stairs. There, Ashton stands with his back turned away from me, shoulders shaking, fist clenched firmly against the wall. Just like that, I have my answer. Does this faze him? No. He's worked plenty of cases before this one. He's got almost a decade of experience on that. Nothing's new in seeing and dealing with a dead body for him. But it hurts him. This hurts him more than anything. I mean, has he dealt with that many cases of people with their entire torso cut open? Ashton Frey arrived at the crime scene to find... It's Frey, right? Gray? Dre? I forget. What is that? That's a J. But there's also an F? G? How could that be a G? Fan's right back in a daze. For a brief talk at the inspector's orders, the paramedic pulled her away to help her calm down before her witness statement was taken. How far are we in? 18 minutes? Ooh. I'll keep going. Coming out. This was the choice. And we're still really early on. Like, I'm expecting it to pick up and, like, pace great ways any time now, but it's still not happening. Is it really just this long? That's... Huh. Well, I mean, let's think. It's the 24th right now. And I imagine it'll go past... yeah, they'll go past Zachary's, right? Well, no, it doesn't really have room to, because Ashton's is gonna be, you know, because Ashton and Rebecca are close, so I imagine a lot of it will take place after, or at least some of it will take place after Rebecca's. So, wonder how they'll do that. Like, they could just, I could see it ending on the 31st, Rebecca's, and Ashton's going to the 1st, because that seems like something you'll see the characters talk about, Zachary and Rebecca's deaths, right? Things are less busy with the paramedic guides leading me downstairs. By this time, the entire flat complex has been sealed away from any outsiders. Though a considerable number of people have already flocked in front of the building. Reporters, gossips, onlookers. The size of them will probably grow until the important-looking officers clear out from the area. Joy of joys. On the far side of the parking lot, a few officers interview some of the tenants, particularly the ones living close to us. Some of them offer me pitying looks when I pass by, all of which I do my best to ignore. I don't need them. Even the sympathetic smile the medic shoots my way, I return with less enthusiasm. She is, however, kind enough to escort me to get wherever I need. The investigators will be closing out the premises while the forensics gather evidence, she informs me. And of all the things to cross my mind first,
My mail.
instead of any basic necessity someone in their right mind would think of. Ridiculous. Yet, she doesn't say anything, simply nods, tells me to lead the way. For that I'm grateful. Sometimes the silence is enough. Sometimes, familiar sounds are enough. Even something as simple as the creaking of an old mailbox. Once I put its lid down, the shuffling of papers against my fingers as I go through today's mail. And there's the letter!
Bills. Brochures. A letter for Mom and Dad.
This is...
I should probably call them. Let them know.
Is this Isabella's mail? Or is this the letter from Isabella?
And another one of Isabella's mail wound up in my
Getting a phone
mailbox.
I'll unmute the
I
mic this time, I promise.
Probably give this.
Sorry about that, guys, I'm back. I'll just leave that silence unedited because I can't be bothered. It's only been 90 seconds, maybe. My hand tenses, fingers lightly tracing the name, her name, printed in bolded letters at the top left area of the envelope. This will never reach her now. She'll never be able to read this now. Breathless chuckle. Ragged breath. Trembling hand over my mouth. Then, for the first time tonight, tears well up from deep within. She's gone. October 25th, Tuesday. Now can I... it's 30 seconds! No, we can't call it a 30 seconds in. Not doing it. The following morning arrives unlike any other day before it. Glaringly bright and clear. The fact that it comes with an extra helping of the unusual October weather doesn't help either. Although I appreciate catching a glimpse of the unclouded sky after last week's bout of sickness, the sun is simply shining a little too much today, considering how the world was completely tilted on its axis last night. Too warm, too cheerful. Stark reminder of her, the kind of person she is. She was.
That'll take some getting used to.
Everything will take some getting used to. Maybe it might have helped more if her name isn't already on every imaginable local or broadsheet and news program. If everything around me doesn't evoke a memory. But that isn't how this usually works, does it? Isn't it these thoughts? Learning to go through a day without an entire person that's always used to be there? 5 years may be fleeting. It's enough time for someone to grow on. Enough time for them to be a significant part of anyone's life. It's not just mine, but Ashton's and Zachary's as well. Bloody heck. This fight almost broke out between those two just because of this whole thing. Neither was at fault, of course. The emotions were high at the time. Seemed to still be on speaking terms when I left, but...
I wonder if those two are going to be okay.
Because I made the right decision, I think? Did I? I remember messing up a bit with Zachary, actually. What was it? Was it just follow Rebecca? Maybe. And then there's this one, right? Like, tell Ash or don't tell Ash. This is so long. Suppose this is all part of the coping thing. Mess happens, and we're left to pick up the pieces after. Not everything is going to be pleasant. It's always about making do with what you have. And if that means getting stuck staying in while the police finish off the investigation, well, there's nothing I can do about that now. Luckily, the nearby cafe manager is also kind enough to offer me a space where I can temporarily put the sudden mess that is my life in proper order. Been sitting here for a few hours now. The manager gave me a table at the far end corner of the shop. For the most part, I was left alone. She might have said something to do that, but she might have something to do about that as well, which I'm also thankful for. Why not for her? What's left of my morning and the rest of my afternoon might not have gotten as uneventful as it did. By sunset, I'm already down a few cups of coffee. Before I'm sank already, I'll be taking a leave of absence today, and finish much of the tasks I've got scheduled today. Still pretty productive, when everything's taken into account. All that's left for me to deal with is in the mail. Specifically, the letter just from Mom and Da. We'll say that. Or do they call it have to make because is that like a British thing? Like they say mom instead of mom and da instead of dad? Like been ignoring it the whole day, putting it off for one reason or another. Worried, afraid of what they'll hear in my voice after last night. Of course, it's like I'm used to getting caught in situations like this, having to deliver news while feeling under the weather. This isn't the first time after all. Over the years, this has become some sort of tradition, because their time in the academe? Especially bred with people with connections. That's not academy, that's academe. People from other, like, not academics either, academe. People from other fields, art, science, business, politics, you name it. Along with it are occasional invitations to parties or some gatherings. Oh, is that why she was at the Hannah's party? What, the 28th? Yeah, the 28th. This one, though, gives off a much more personal vibe. Letters like this usually come from old students, people who have grown fond of my parents, and they, in turn, treat like children of their own. I've only met a few of them. Most have moved on to become successful in their chosen careers. Little letters like this one are their way of expressing gratitude. It's one thing Mom and are proud of, rightfully so, happy for them. But there are times I wish they'll remember they have a daughter here. They're your one. Not like they didn't raise me well and provide for me. They did. I want to be where I am now if it weren't for their hard work. I'm a dutiful child. Do everything I can to give back. Even if it's a smaller thing is letting them know they've got another mail waiting for them. The phone rings for a good minute before someone picks up. Oh. She's gonna be voice acted. Oh. Mom! I'm not saying Mom again. Voice is warm as her.
Becca?
Hi, Mum. How's the conference going?
I want to protect that smile.
Well enough. Until your dad sprained his ankle.
She said it! She said it!
Oh no, is it bad?
I'm alright. In case anyone in this family cares to listen, I'm alright. Very much alive, darling.
And there you have it. He'll be up and walking in a few weeks, don't worry. We're going to have to extend our stay here until it heals, though. Is something the matter?
Nothing big. Just that mail arrived for you. I got it last night, but things happened.
A lie. Thankfully she doesn't notice. Although if I'm going to be honest, a small part of me yearns for her to do so and ask me about it. But I put down that idea almost as soon as it surfaces. I shouldn't make them fret. They're busy.
What does it say?
Raise your glasses, give cheers to the good times, blah blah.
Becca manners. That isn't how I taught you to read.
Wow! What are you, my mom? Hey yo!
Sorry, you are cordially. It's an invitation, Mum, for a housewarming party from Hannah.
The name rings a bell, though at the moment I can't recall whom or where I've heard it recently. Must be nothing too important if I didn't bother committing it to memory. There are a lot of Hannahs in the world, so who knows?
Hannah.
She also wrote you a note, Mum. It says you used to be her private tutor at the Evans mansion, and that she misses you and would love to see you two again.
Makes my heart clench. To read another openly say those words to them. The same words I want to tell them. I want to see you too. It's been years since we've been together as family. There's one thing that hasn't changed from childhood. It's that they are still busy with their respective careers. Not doing it! Out of the country, away on some meeting or symposium? What? That's not a real award. Sometimes for months on end. I only grew more frequent with the years until I'm old enough to live on my own. I like to think that that's how I've become independent at such an early age. They've always praised me for that. At times I wish they did.
Evans? Oh, I remember now.
So remember when I said they hired voice actors for this? I lied! Ayo! It's not that bad.
Honey, it's Hannah! Hannah Evans. Remember? Bright girl, 2 years older than Becca?
Didn't she get married a few years ago? 7 now, I think. But they grow up so fast, these kids.
They grew up so fast. Don't grow up. I think it's supposed to be grow up. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, she invited us to that too. Fonte de Medici. But we missed that one because you had to present your paper in Singapore.
We did send her a note after. Still a shame we couldn't attend, though. What is it about this time?
She sent another invite for a housewarming party. Becca, when is it?
This Friday, Mum.
Oh, that's too bad. We'd love to be there, but Da's not in a condition to go walking around. I guess we'd have to decline again. I really miss that girl.
I could go in your place.
I let it slip without thinking. Personally, I've never been fond of gatherings, regardless of how simple people make it seem. But if there's one thing I hate hearing, that disappointed note of not doing it. Their voice always rings first. Whether it's directed at me or some other thing, doesn't
Are
matter.
you sure? Don't you have work this Friday?
The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule. It's all right. The invite's for 2 people. I can bring someone with me so things don't get boring. The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule.
What?
The event will be in the evening, Mum. It shouldn't take anything away from my schedule.
I'm done. See you guys next time. Bye.